Shalom to all. Today's daf is Yerushalmi Brachot daf Lamed Daled. We are starting the 9th line at the 2 dots, and in the Vilna Tzuras daf it's daf Chav Gimel Amud Aleph, the 12th line in the middle of the line. And today's daf is sponsored Lilu Nishmas Mars Miriam Sarah Bas Rabbi Yaakov Moshe her neshama shtav and aliyah. And the Gemara says, Kaihain Maushei Tamal Chvoid Rabbi. Is a Kain allowed to become Tamei? Does he have a Chiv to become Tamei for the covenant of his Rebbe? And we know that Midairaisa, a Kain is only allowed to be Tamei to one of the 7 immediate relatives: father, mother, sister, brother, son, daughter, or spouse. But what about his Rebbe? Does he become Tamei to his Rebbe Bavak who passes away? And the idea behind this is that the relationship between a Rebbe and Talmud might even be greater than a father and a son. So the Gemara tells us, Rabbi Yanai Ze'era, he was a Kain, Damech Chamai, his father-in-law passed away. Who have a Chamai, V'hu Haya Rabbi. Not only was he his father-in-law, but he was also his Rebbe Mavak. Rabbi Yossi asked Rabbi Yossi should he be metamed to his father-in-law who was his Rebbe, and he answered it to him. However, this was only misafik. Now Shamar Rav Acha heard this, V'mar, and he said, Yitamulei Talmidav, his Talmidim should become Tamei to him, because Rav Acha was 100% certain that a Talmid who's a Kain should be metamed to his Rebbe. Now Rabbi Yossi, Nitmulei Talmidav, when Rabbi Yossi passed away, his Talmidim who were Kaihanim, they were metamed to him, Ve'achlu Basar V'shasu Yayin, and they ate meat and they drank wine before the Kvura. Now Ramana asked them, Chadim and Tarti Loi Paltas L'chain. One of two you haven't escaped from, meaning you did one of two things wrong. If you really avelim, why did you eat meat? Why did you drink wine? And if you're not keeping dina avelos, so why did you become tamei to him? Now the reason why Rav Mana didn't tell them definitely you did the following thing wrong is because he was also misupik whether or not a Talmud should be tamei to his Rebbe. Now the Gemara is asking, does a kain become tamei l'chavad Torah? Now the gears that we're going to be using is not l'chavad Torah but l'talmud Torah, which means is a kain not becoming tamei more important than learning Torah? Should he stop learning Torah in order not to become Tamei Mace? So we have a story about this. Rabbi Yosef Havi Yosef Masni, Rabbi Yosef was sitting and teaching, V'al Mesa, and a mace was about to be brought to the base medrash. Now Man denafak le loy amr le klum. The ones that left the base medrash because they didn't want to become Tamei, he didn't tell them anything. And Man de Yosef le, the one that remained sitting, loy amr le klum, he didn't tell them anything. He was misopik. Does learning Torah override the isser of a kain becoming Tamei? Now another story about this. From Nechami Brei Rav Chia bar Abba Amar, he said, Abba, my father, who was a Kain, loy hava avar to chayis kipasa de Kesarin, he wouldn't go under the kippah, under the arch of Kesaria. Now he means that even if one of the Gedalim died, he would not be metamei to him, to the extent that when walking along with the Levaya, he wouldn't even pass under the archway that the mace would be brought through. Now going under this archway is a halacha that has to do with the Mishnah and multiple Gemaras. When there's a mace in a house, the Toma fills the house, that's called Tomas oil, and it's also metamei anything which is in the Pesach, the opening that the mace is going to be brought through. So for example, if the mace will be brought through the front door, something on the outside of the door, but still within the frame, is tamei. Now, since Rabbi Chumi's grandfather knew that the mace would be brought through a particular gate underneath this particular kippah, this archway, he didn't go through it, even though the mace hadn't yet been brought through there. Now, we're going to use the following gears of the Gemara. Rav Ami Avar, Rav Ami would go through, and seemingly machlekes between Rav Ami and Abba is whether or not a kain is allowed to become tamei mace in order to be able to learn Torah. So Rav Ami would go straight through so that he could learn Torah, and Abba wouldn't go through; he would go around so as not to become tamei. Now, sorry about this. Reb Chizkiah, Reb Kayin, Reb Yaakov bar Acha, Hafim Thailand Be'ilan Paltiusa de Sipari. They were walking along the open area of Sipari. According to the Charedim, they were in the middle of a Levaya for an Adam Gadol. But Higil Kippah, they reached the archway. Upirish Reb Kayin. Reb Kayin, he separated himself. He left. He didn't want to go under the archway because he didn't want to become Tamei. So Higil Makam Tahar. They got to a place which is Tahar. V'chazar Atzlan, and he went back to them. So Amar Line, he asked them, B'ma Askin, what were you involved in? What was the Tahar that you were talking about? Obviously, they didn't walk more than Dalat Amos without shmuzing in Torah. They want to know what Divrei Torah they were in the middle of talking about. What was the sugya? Now, Lam Dalat Amos based on top. Reb Chizkiah, Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha. Reb Chizkiah told Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha, Lo yisem relay klum. Don't tell him anything. Don't tell him what we were talking about. But now the Gemara tells us that's for one of two reasons. In mishum debayish le de parash shematama latalmud Torah lo yadin. Lo yadin means we don't know. So we don't know if the reason why Reb Chizkiah told Rabbi